Well, good evening and welcome to Brighton Hove Albion's official YouTube channel for coverage of this Premier League 2 match between Brighton Hove Albion under-23s and their Everton counterparts. The Toffees are top of the table, but only 2 points ahead of the Seagulls, so if the Albion win tonight, they will go to the summit. The sides met earlier this season in the Premier League International Cup, with that game finishing 2-2. Albion have made 2 changes from the side which beat Chelsea 3-2 in the league on Saturday. Marcus Suttner returns at left-back, allowing George Cox to push further up the pitch, while Ben Wright returns at right-back. Both sides have lost just once in 9 league games this season, both losing to Derby County. It's very congested at the top of the Premier League 2 table. Just 4 points separate Everton in first place from Chelsea in 6th. Running through the Albion team to start off. It is a 4-3-3. In goal is Hugo Keto. Then a back 4 of Ben White, Ben Barkley, Warren O'Hora and Marcus Suttner. A midfield 3 of Matthias Norman, Max Sanders and Anders Dreyer. And Victor Gyökeres and George Cox supporting Aaron Connolly up front. As for Everton, Joe Hilton starts in goal for them. Then a back 4 of Kyle John, Tyus Browning, Morgan Feeney and Harry Charsley. In midfield, it's Ryan Astley, Nathangelo Marcello and Dennis Adeniran. And up front, Nathan Broadhead on the left wing, Josh Bowler on the right wing and Basala Sambu up front. The referee tonight is Christopher O'Donnell, and he will be assisted by Damith Bandara and Matthew Lee. The 2 teams' respective captains, Ben Barkley and Morgan Feeney, just in the middle at the moment, presiding over the toss. Albion are coached by Simon Rusk, while Everton are coached by David Unsworth, an Everton legend who won the FA Cup in 1995 with the Toffees. Well, it looks like we're just about to get underway. It's going to be Albion who kick us off here at the American Express Elite Football Performance Centre. Kicking, as you can see, from left to right. Albion in their traditional blue and white stripes, and Everton in their change kit, which is a dark blue. So all looks good to get underway. Decent crowd in here tonight, about 200 people in the stand opposite us. It's going to be Cox going up against the header, but Feeney wins it in the air, and Dreyer nicks it forward. But in the end, the referee decides that's a high boot, so he gives a free kick. So an early set-piece opportunity for the Albion under-23s to work an opening at goal. And all the big men go forward from the back. So Marcus Suttner is over it, the oldest member of this Albion team, but Max Sanders is there as well. 6 Albion shirts up there, but it's headed away by the first defender in the end. Picked up by George Cox to help it through to the back post, but that one's going to be a simple one for Joe Hilton in the Everton goal. Everton have been in, well, very good form themselves. Beat Manchester City 1-0 last time out at Goodison Park on Saturday evening towards Basala Sambu, and he manages to, well, he misses that one, but it's Ben White who gets a flick on the ball, and it's out for an Everton throw-in. Here's Dennis Adeniran in the Everton midfield, but almost onto the end of that was Victor Gyökeres. Here's Feeney. Exchanges passes with Adeniran. Broadhead now. Adeniran calling for a switch, and he rather flashes the ball out, but Marcus Suttner is there and can help set up a counter-attack. This one's for Gyökeres to chase. And it's out for a goal kick. Albion starting on more of a traditional 4-4-2 tonight, with Anders Dreyer here on the right and George Cox on the left, with Gyökeres up front with Connolly. Connolly's been in fine form so far this season. 11 goals in 13 games in all competitions. This one's over the head of Norman, but a bit of confusion in the Albion backline, but White gets it away in the end. Here's Connolly off the shoulder, down to Marcello there. Feeney, the Everton captain, finds Harry Charlesley here at left back, and he looks to come forward, but Norman in the end muscles him out of it unfairly, according to the referee. Deneran's over this free kick. Like he might have taken it, but in the end he leaves it to Morgan Feeney to take over the duties. He finds Tyus Browning. Pops it out to the right, who is Kyle John, is the right back for Everton this evening. Here's a left winger cutting into the game for the first time. Norman on the ball, looking for the run of Connolly. He's up against Kyle John. Does well to hold it up under the close attentions of the right back. Bring Ben White into the game. Combining well with Dreyer as Albion look to keep possession for the first time this evening. Sanders back to Warren O'Hora. O'Hora came back into the side against Chelsea at the weekend. Towards White on the right. Good flick on from him to Dreyer. And on again. Browning climbs over Guy Carez, but play continues. Here's Broadhead. Chance to run at the Albion defence. Good covering by Sanders. And Keto is smart to clear that one up. Connolly chasing this one. Does well to get in front of it and hold it up and turn. Now himself with a chance to come forward. Gyökeres is up in support. It'll run through to Cox. But Browning is there to come across. Ryan Astley even, I should say, to mop up the danger, and Markello comes away with it. Deneran over to Feeney. This is Harry Charlesley. Looks first time to Broadhead. Dreyer is covering. It's Norman in midfield. It's Marcus Suttner making his first outing in the Premier League 2 this season. Hasn't featured for the senior side either yet this season. It's Warren O'Hora. Looking forward. This one's cut out by the Everton defence. 5 minutes gone and still awaiting the first goalmouth action or real shot on target so far this evening. Albion disciplined in their play so far. Basala Sambu and Deneran doing a bit of closing down there. It's the Albion skipper Barkley. So Hora. Norman under pressure from Charlesley. Bit of a loose pass, and Sambu might be onto this one, but Barkley's there in the end to get it away just in front of the Everton striker. Sambu's really looking to sniff up on any mistakes. He's got 4 goals in the league so far this season. Actually netted from the penalty spot when these two sides met in the Premier League International Cup. It's Barkley. Good bit of move to get past Broadhead, and now White can come forward. Past Charlesley, and he rather dived into that challenge. That's going to be a free kick for the Seagulls. Here's Norman. Combines with Sanders. A bit more pace injected into the Albion play. This is Gyökeres combines with the midfield, and Norman looks to go quickly over the top, but it strikes the head of a Deneran, and John can clear, but only as far as Suttner. Gyökeres out to Cox on the left. Here's Sanders. Connolly's in the centre calling for it, looking for a run. White's in space on the right. Dreyer is with him if he needs an option, but again, White is brought down. This time it's Broadhead who tackles him, the Welshman. And, well, this will be maybe a different angle for the Albion to put a ball into the box. And Marcus Suttner, the former Austria international, comes across and will be the man to swing it in left-footed. 6 Albion shirts in the area, and Norman lurking on the edge of it. Decent ball by Suttner, and it's headed away well by Sambu. Everton can try and work it clear. Bowler. Twisting and turning. It's behind Morgan Feeney. Charlesley combines with Adeniran. Sambu's in between the lines, but he goes out to the right to Kyle John. One for the right back to Chase. Cross in, and in the end it's over the head of Sambu, and Broadhead couldn't get anywhere near that one either. Suttner finds Norman. White looking for the run of Connolly, but not to be this time round. Here's Matthias Norman, the Norwegian. Clips the ball out to the left to Suttner. Combines with Gyökeres. Ball out to White here on the right. Goes back to Barkley though. This is the 15th game that Albion have played at the American Express Elite Football Performance Centre since the start of 2016. And of the previous 14, they've lost only once, so they'll be looking to keep that run going. Ball down the left looking for Connolly, but he is flagged offside. So yes, the Albion under-23s have won 9 and drawn 4 the previous 14 games that they've played here. And they've been quite prolific. 39 goals they've scored in those 14 games, just over 2.3 goals a game. So hopefully we'll see some goalmouth action here tonight. Charlesy's in space on the right. Markello picks him out. White is up against him. Charlesy goes inside to find Bowler. Likes to cut in from the right and strikes at goal, and it deflects off Barkley. So after about coming up to the 10-minute mark in this first half, we're going to have our first corner. It's going to be Nathan Broadhead to take it, and 7 dark blue shirts in the box, many of them in the 6-yard area where it goes, but Connolly heads it away. So Bowler with a strike, dragged wide. First shot at goal of the evening, and it goes to the Toffees, but no trouble for Hugo Keto on that occasion. And the Finland Youth International gets us started. Ball comes back with Everton, and here's Adeniran. Finds Nathangelo Markello. Out to John on the right. Doing a lot of overlapping already, the right back. Suttner's marshalling him. Combines with Josh Bowler. Adeniran pops it forward to Markello. Under pressure. The visitors are forced back. This is Ryan Astley on the ball. Usually plays with the under-18s, but promoted tonight to the under-23 side. Also on the bench for the Toffees is Ellis Sims, young striker who's been in prolific form for their under-18 so far this season. He was the other man who scored against the Seagulls in the Premier League International Cup. Here's Matthias Norman. Finds Warren O'Hora. Albion still looking to carve out their own opening and get at Joe Hilton's goal. This one's round the corner, but touch there just lets down Cox. Ball drifts out for an Everton throw-in. Pump forward, but the header from O'Hora goes out before Marcus Suttner can get on the end of it and help it forward. Albion given that decision. It's been a decent October for the young Seagulls. Lost just once in 5 games in all competitions. That defeat was at the start of the month to Derby County in the league, but since then they won in the Premier League International Cup. They drew with Blackburn in the league. Oh, that's a poor error by Hugo Keto, and Everton have the opener. It's Nathangelo Marcello, and in the 14th minute Everton have the lead. It's Brighton 0, Everton 1. Well, just a lapse in concentration there at the back by the Albion, and Hugo Keto was caught in the end by the Everton man closing down Marcello, and, well, a very weak way for Albion to fall behind, but Everton won't have any complaints about that. So, here on Brighton Hove Albion's official YouTube channel, it's Everton who take the lead in this Premier League 2 match. Albion have some work to do. Downfall somewhat of their own making there. Here's Sutner. Ben Barkley looking for the run of White down the right-hand side. Charsley loses the flight of the ball, but Feeney is there to step across. But White's got back on the end of it. Here's Dreher bursting into the Everton box. Gyökeres is there to strike. Blocks it. Good work by Ben Barkley to win after a couple of challenges. Sanders slips past the goal scorer Marcello. This is more like it from the Albion, more purpose. Here's Dreher, just checking back. Here's Sanders on the ball. Into the feet of Gyökeres. He does well to hold off Adeniran. Might fancy a strike at goal, but in the end goes into the feet of Dreher. Claims for handball. Referee waves him away. Adeniran can find Carl John on the right. He's got pace. It's like a fairly industrial challenge by the Albion man, but the referee waves play on. Bowler cuts in field. Here's Dennis Adeniran. Harry Charsley's here on the left up against Ben White. A couple of tricks from the young Everton man. Feeney out to Charsley. Bit of a turn there. Looking to get past his man, didn't come off. It's Max Sanders back to Warren O'Hora. Here's Ben Barkley. Albion looking to work the ball from the back, but so far not had much joy. This time it's Sambu going down to close Keto. Sutner combining with Sanders. 4 Albion men now looking for runs. Here's Norman. Albion having to stay patient as Everton sit back. Just didn't come off there for George Cox this time. Adeniran comes forward with it. Step over and manages to keep hold of the ball. Charsley's up against Dreher. And Dreher just does enough. Looked like a hand on the shoulder, but gets away with it. That's late, though, from the Everton left back. Well, looks like he'll... thought he might just get a warning from the referee for that one, but this time he will go into the referee's book. So Charsley now on a yellow card. 70 odd minutes for the left back to get through. He's an experienced player though, 22 years old, Republic of Ireland, youth international. Norman looking out to the right. Charlesy reads it, gets the head on it out for a throw-in. Albion looking to get going as they look for a response in this game. Setting their tracks back in the end. Low ball into the feet of Dreyer. Good control by the Dane. Norman up against Adeniran. In the end, his pass is read by Broadhead, who can lead an Everton counter-attack. Basala Sambu, not seen much of him so far this evening. In the end, he lays it back. Yorkerez gets in front and Markello wins a free kick. Albion retain possession. Senna's in space. But again, the Everton defence has been organised so far. Cox up against John. Connolly's the only man in the middle at the moment. Here's Yorkerez in space. Checks back. Sets up Norman. He does go for the shot. Does it come off his own man? It's blocked either way. And Everton clear. Hora's there in front of Sambu. But Everton get the decision. The Everton striker turning not on certain terms by his coach David Unsworth to hold the ball up a bit better. It's been Everton, it's been the Albion, I should say, even who've had more of possession recently, but find themselves a goal down to a lapse in concentration at the back. Here's Josh Bowler cutting in from the left, cutting in from the right onto his left, but just really miscues his shot completely. Does like doing that. The winger, left-footed player playing on the right, joined Everton from QPR about 18 months ago. Albion still with plenty of the ball at the back, but not really finding the opportunities with, well, it's now pretty much a five-man Everton backline with Ryan Astley quite often stepping in to make it three centre-backs. Keto finds O'Hora. Keto coming here to the right. Bit of a shove in the back on Ben White, but officials don't see anything wrong with that one.
Around the halfway line. Information to Ty, to Ryan and to Morgie. Left shoulder, right shoulder. Where's the 9? All the time. Give them information. All right?
Yeah, go on. Come on then. Yes. Right, come on then. Yeah. Make sure Ty. Any chance? Yes, boss.
So Charlesy with the throw-in. And it's towards Sambu, but wide is there. Yorkerez flicks it on. Here's Ryan Astley. Goes back to his keeper, Hilton. Albion can try and push up and maybe seek an error, but here's the Everton captain, Feeney. Finds Ryan Astley. Back to Hilton, and Connolly was there looking to close it down. Sambu wins the header there, but again it's play on, but no advantage for Everton, and as I Foul by O'Hora, challenging Basala Sambu.
Also
But
realise
he'll be all right to continue
play,
without any treatment.
okay, so just know that when you're playing it out. Have a little look forward when you see the man on his way. Alright? What you might do there, if you've got time.
So midway through this first half,
Time then.
it's Everton who had the lead thanks to Nathangelo Marcello's goal. Maybe a chance for the Toffees to look to add to that lead from this set piece, but Albion can come away with it, and ball into Dreyer gives him a chance to run at the defence for the first time in a bit of space. Yorkerez is up in support. In the end, the ball just doesn't find him, but Albion keep it. Sanders pops it out to White. Norman goes back to Ben Barkley. Sanders again on the ball. This one's forward from Suttner looking for Yorkerez. But in the end it's adjudged a foul by the Swede.
Will you relax? Kyle, please.
But Albion need to remain patient as they look to unlock this Everton defence, which is hardly giving them a sniff of goals so far this evening here in Lancing. Good strong header away by Ben Barkley. Match between Marcello. It's an Everton throw-in to the rather quizzical looks and motions of the Albion team. Decent hold-up play by Sambu there, and he wins a free kick for a challenge on him. It was Norman who actually brought him down and ended up slightly worse off. Goal scorer Marcello's over the free kick. Takes it back to Ryan Astley. Back to Marcello. Astley square to Deneran, but he can't bring it under control. But Feeney can come forward with it from centre back. It's Charlesley. Deneran into the feet of Josh Bowler. Good work from him to work it to the right, and Kyle John. Bowler again, looking to run at George Cox. Low crossing, cut out by O'Hora. Everton bring it back again with Kyle John. Is Marcello. Square to Deneran. Deneran works space for the shot, which Norman blocks, and it falls to Suttner. Referee saw a foul. Matthias Norman is down though. Looks like he might need some treatment before the game continues. Norman using a bit of time to take on some liquids, while Aaron Connolly, a couple of the other Albion players come over to this near side to take some drinks themselves and have a bit of chat with the Albion coaches. Simon Rusk and Liam Rossinia assisting Russ, the under-23 coach. This doesn't look great for Norman though. He's hobbling slightly as he comes off. Yeah. Albion will be hoping that the Norwegian midfielder can continue. Looks like he's going to give it a go at least anyway. So we do get underway. It's Charles who gets on the end of that free kick. Here's Markello looking to go forward into the feet of Sambu. Trick from him, and John's in space on the flank. It's a foul from the backtracking Victor Gyökeres. Takes down the Everton striker. The Toffees get the game going quickly. Markello combining with Broadhead. It's cut in field. He cuts it square back to Astley. There's Marcus Sittner there, but John wins the throw-in. Bowler runs the ball out of play, and Albion have a chance to get back on the ball and try and launch another attack. Long ball looking for Connolly, but that one's going to drift out of play before the 18-year-old Irishman can get on the end of it. Not had much of a sight at goal so far this season, or I should say this evening even. 11 goals in all competitions so far for the Albion under-23s. But Connolly yet to have a sight at goal. Broadhead looks to help that on, but miscues it. Here's Connolly. Can't get up to Feeney in front of it, but here's Tyus Browning. Goes back to his keeper. Connolly's closing that one down. Doesn't quite get on the end of it, but Hilton manages to clear in the end. Doesn't manage to get closed down like Hugo Keto was in the 14th minute. Out towards White, but Charlesy is there. White, though, got a bit of a knock to the head, though, in the face, but might need to take a moment just to compose himself. Albion get going again. Here's Norman, who looks to have shaken off that knock. Clips it out wide to Suttner. Combines with Gyökeres. Cox looking to work an opening for a cross. Cut out by Astley. Gyökeres looking to pick up the pieces. It's been marshalled well by the Everton defence, who've hardly given a chance away this evening. And again, very quick to close down is Markello. One for Broadhead to chase, but Barkley controls it well enough. Looked like he might have been tripped. Looks to go back to the keeper, but it's going to be an Everton corner there in the end. Maybe just a bit of over-elaboration to the back rather than looking to clear the ball immediately. So Everton get their second corner of the game. And again, it's going to be Nathan Broadhead, the Welshman, to take it. Outswinger. Clips in low. It's flicked on by an Everton head, but Feeney it was, but didn't manage to get it goalwards at all. Dreyer with a chance to clear, and he's strong challenge from Tyus Browning stops the attack in its tracks. It's Marcus Suttner. Not had too much football so far this season, the Austrian. Sanders finds Ben White, looking for options. Forced back again. Sutner puts this one forward. Gyökeres looking to get past his man, but it's cut out by John. He finds Marcello. This time it's Morgan Feeney, the Everton captain, with a chance to come forward with the ball from defence. Deneran takes over. John's in space to the right, but he brings in Ryan Astley. Not a great deal of creativity or pace in this Everton move at the moment. Deneran comes forward with it. Finds Josh Bowler. Chance to twist and turn, but Ihora knocks away his pass. And ball forward to Albion men under it. White heads it in the end. Charsley straight to Sanders. Kept out to the left to Sutner, a former Ingolstadt man. Good feet from Sanders to get out of the way of a little problem. Here's Sutner with a chance to deliver on the left. Finds Cox. Twists back in, brought down. Just outside the area, says the referee. Well, I thought for a moment then that he might be pointing to the spot. It was very close. Marcus Sutner definitely making the case that it was on the line or in the area, but in the end, Christopher O'Donnell gives a free kick just outside the area. So with what, just a little over 10 minutes to half-time, Albion have a very decent set-piece opportunity as they look to get an equaliser here. It's going to be Sutner to deliver the ball. Plenty of Albion shirts in there at the moment. What can Sutner come up with? Cuts it back to Dreyer, takes a touch, shoots, deflection, just wide. It's going to be a corner for the Albion. I thought that might have come off Aaron Connolly actually in there, but corner it will be for the Albion. Their first of the evening. Decent sighting at goal. Sutner with the corner. It's a low one, flicked on by Gyökeres. Behind any Albion men though, and Everton can launch a counter-attack. Here's Marcello, finds Bassar. Sambu, he goes down. Deneran actually, who was the man who was fouled. Well, first couple of chances that Albion had to find an equaliser since falling behind, a couple of set pieces, but couldn't quite make the most of them on this occasion. Just under 10 minutes to half time. Everton still lead through the Nathangelo Marcello goal on 14 minutes. Closing down Hugo Keto, the Albion goalkeeper, and managing to deflect the ball into the net. Poor pass by Feeney, gives it away to George Cox, who can come forward. He's got Gyökeres in support on the left. Good touch from him to come inside his man. He's being marshalled by Astley. Twists and turns. This time Connolly's on the ball. Shoots a goal, blocked. Another shot for the Albion man. Deflected again, but Joe Hilton's going to pick this one up. First time that Connolly's really got on the ball within about 25 yards or so of the Everton goal. Norman's under that one, but can't direct his header forwards, but no other Everton player in space around him, so he'll pick up the loose ball. Poor pass by Sutner though, gives it away to Adeniran. Sanders though cuts out the danger. Norman goes quickly this time ahead looking for Connolly. This time he's up against Tyus Browning. It's the Everton defender, an experienced campaigner who wins the free kick in the end. Spent most of last season on loan with Sunderland, did Tyus Browning, but couldn't help them avoid relegation to League One, the Black Cats. So one of a few Everton players who's played in the senior team, Tyus Browning. He's made 9 senior appearances for the Toffees. Broadhead manages to get ahead of Barkley on this one and into the Albion box, but in the end there's just about enough cover to pop that one behind and win a goal kick, but warning for the Albion there, just a long ball forward. In the end flicked on and Broadhead almost got away with a shot. Shazi wins the header into the feet of Basala Sambu. He's not had many openings at goal either so far. Here's Dennis Adeniran. Shot into Nathangelo Marcello. Sanders is there with him. Bit of a loose pass back gives Albion the chance to push up and Connolly the chance to close down the keeper. Slip from Hilton, but he still manages to get the ball away. It's loose, but Broadhead picks up the pieces. Forward he comes. Shot a goal. It's straight at Keto. Again, just a bit of loose play and a couple of Albion players out of position, and Everton managed to work an opening. Good control by Dreyer under pressure from Adeniran. Referee judges that one a free kick. Sanders. White. Not too many options at the moment. Everton keeping their shape. Frustrating the Albion. It's Mateus Norman. Ihora. Toffees are sitting deep. As it stands, they're going to go 4 points clear at the top of the Premier League 2 table. And 6 clear of the Albion. Sanders. Forward. Feeney manages to read it. Connolly's coming back to try and win it back and hustle Adeniran. He finds Josh Bowler. Bowler coming forward with purpose. Getting enough pressure there from the Albion defence to win it back. Good touch from Gyökeres, finds George Cox. Space in the midfield for the Albion. Out to the right. Chelsea wins the header again. Sanders. Gyökeres is calling for it down the right flank. Slip from Feeney. Gyökeres is in behind, clipped in, and there's... Oh, just on the line. Thought that would have gone in from Connolly, but somehow... I think it was Tyus Browning or Astley there back, managed to get enough on it and clear it right off the line. Well, you're not going to come any closer to an equaliser than that with 5 minutes to go until the break.
No.
Thought Connolly had got the equaliser there.
Foul. It's a fucking foul. It is.
Now, can Albion keep up the pressure as they search for an equaliser before the break? It's their best move of the game so far. Coming forward more, here's Norman. Forced back, but Albion are growing in confidence here. Can they work another opening before the break? Albion keeping possession as they probe this packed Everton defence, looking to protect that lead. Ben Barkley, the Albion captain, flips it out to the left, looking for Suttner to get on the end of it, and he does. This time he is brought down, and again, it's a free kick. No, sorry, it's a throw-in. I thought that was going to be an Albion penalty, but again turned down by the referee. Gyökeres with a chance. 30 yards out. White's in space. Will he deliver? Puts him past Broadhead. It's Sanders. Intricate interplay. Just pinging around. Cleared away by Feeney. Nudge by Sambu on Barkley. Albion playing with real urgency as they look for a leveller before the break. Here's White. Low ball, too close to the keeper though, and Hilton gobbles that one up. Barkley's underneath this one. Ashley heads it back into Albion territory though. Good control by Sutner, brings it down. And Albion can build again. Connolly calling for it. Ball over the top from White, and it's well marshalled by Browning. Feeney pick up the pieces. Deneran combines with Feeney. And Charnsley can clear it upfield, but Barkley's there to get on the end of it. More pressure coming from the Toffees midfield at the moment. Just forces Albion back. Oh, Sambu's looking to get on the end of this back pass, but Keto is wise to it and clears upfield. Looked like that might have been a foul there, but ball runs through to Connolly. Does win a free kick. Is Norman looking out right to Dreher, but Charlesley again with the headed clearance. Out looking for Cox. Good control by the winger. Delivers with his second touch. Ashley heads it away. Albion finishing this half on top. Into the closing stages of it. Can they work the keeper or work another opening? Sanders comes across. Gyökeres gives it back to him. White's in space to deliver. Gyökeres was looking for anything there, but in the end it was Hilton who manages to claim the cross. Just buy a few seconds for Everton as they look to reorganise and compose themselves. Well, he's hung on to it for quite a while. Connolly's making the point to the officials. Don't seem too interested. Norman wins that header. Sanders finds Dreher, who cuts in field. Kicks it out to Sutner. Stream comes forward with it. Ball forward looking for Dreher. Back to Gyökeres. Cuts inside. Connolly blocked. Corner. Well, not too much time. There might be a minute or two added on at the end of this first half for injuries to Matthias Norman. It's going to be Norman who goes across to take it, so this might be the final throws of the first half here. Can Albion find a leveller right at the end of this first half? Comes the ball towards the back post. Connolly it was, I think, who tried to get on the end of it, but, well, the man's down and he'll need some treatment, so this may well be the end of the first period. Basala Sambu's down. He's got a clash with his man from the corner. Needs a bit of treatment. Everton medical staff just giving the striker the once over, checking that he's okay, but looks like he'll be fine to continue. Well, I think the referee will start the game with a drop ball, but I don't think we'll have too much action left in this first half. Maybe just another minute or 90 seconds or 30 seconds or a minute or so. Milton pops it upfield, but Sutner gets in front of his man to get a head on the ball. Everton frustrated by not being allowed to bring Basala Sambu back on the pitch so far, but play continues. There he is. Finally given the go-ahead to bring back on. Slight frustration from the Everton bench at that delay at that decision. But Everton just marshalling out this half, and there goes the half-time whistle. In this Premier League 2 match, end of the first half, it's Brighton 0, Everton 1. And as it stands, Everton going 6 points clear of Albion in the table. Albion need to come back if they want to go to the side of the table themselves. We'll be back in around 15 minutes with the second half. Well, welcome back to Brighton Hove Albion's official YouTube channel for coverage of this Premier League 2 match between Brighton and Everton under 23s. It's Everton who had a 1-goal lead at the break. Nathangelo Marcello closing down Hugo Keto and, well, tapping in from about 6 yards out in the 14th minute of the game. And after that it was a case of Albion trying to break down the Toffees. Didn't have too many openings. Anders Dreyer had a shot blocked behind for a set piece, for a corner, and then Nathan Connolly had an effort scrambled off the goal line by the Everton defence after Victor Gyökeres got round the back of the Everton defence. And then just before half-time, it looked like Albion could have had a penalty when George Cox was hauled down by Kyle John as he looked to get on the end of a lofted ball into the box, but the referee waved away the protest. So as it stands, Albion have 45 minutes to try and find an equaliser as they look to, well, make sure that they can still go ahead, go to the top of the Premier League 2 table themselves. Everton started the evening 2 points clear of the Seagulls, and as it stands, Everton are going 4 points clear at the top of the table. So the referee, Christopher O'Donnell, ready to get the second half underway here at the American Express Elite Football Performance Centre in Lancing. Everything seems to be ready more or less, just checking with his fourth official, and we're back underway. Although he's not too happy with some encroachment by Basala Sambu. So now we are underway into the second half. Both teams unchanged. We'll run you through both teams again very shortly. But let's just wait for the opening action in this second half. Suttner steps inside and looks to get Aaron Connolly going ahead forward, but Tyus Browning gets that one away. So in goal for the Albion is Hugo Keto, then a back four of Ben White, Ben Barkley, Warren O'Hora and Marcus Suttner. Midfield four of Anders Dreyer, Matthias Norman, Max Sanders and George Cox. And then up front, Victor Gyökeres and Aaron Connolly. I'll go through the Everton team in a minute. Here is Marcus Suttner, the former Austria international. He finds Sanders. Cox is out on the left up against Kyle John. Just those two players who clashed in the area, and it looks like Cox might have found his man there, but no, play continues. Here's Sanders, a couple of shirts to aim for in the box, but he's well marshalled, and in the end he gives the ball away to Nathan Broadhead, who can come away with it. Is Nathangelo Marcello, the Everton goal scorer, looking forward, can't quite get on the end of that. So Everton now playing more of a 5-4-1. This is Connolly. Cox is in support. Sanders. So Everton playing 4-5-1 in goal for them. Joe Hilton, back five of Kyle, John, Ryan Astley, Tyus Browning, Morgan Feeney and Harry Charsey. In midfield, Dennis Adeniran, Nathan Marcello, and then Nathan Broadhead and Josh Bowler, other side of Basala Sambu, the striker. Albion have lost just one of their past 5 games in all competitions. Both these sides have suffered just one defeat in the league so far this season. Everton, the early pace setters in Premier League 2. Charles is on the ball and stumbles, but manages to get away with it. Pressure by Connolly on Astley and now Hilton. The Everton goalkeeper clears. Ben Barkley's there to muscle Sambu off the ball. Everton continue with it. It's Carl John. Marcello's in support. No pressure on him for the moment, but he pops it square to Nathan Broadhead. Josh Bowler. Broadhead again, combining with Dennis Adeniran. Charlesy's a man on the left back. Adeniran. Into the feet of Broadhead again. Gets it back.
Open up.
Markello. Carl Johns in a bit of space on the right-hand side. Bowler's forced back though by good defending by Marcus Suttner. Everton enjoying the early possession in this second half. First half was a tale of much Albion possession, but being unable to break down the defensive ranks of the visitors. Into the feet of Sambu, and that's a free kick, which they take quickly. As Ben Barkley clipped his heels. It's a loose pass which is seized upon by Norman. He looks to get Aaron Connolly going and running at the Albion defence. He gets a bit of a push in the back, but again the referee says play on. Charlesy picks it up and Everton come away with it. So Dennis Adeniran manages to keep the ball under pressure. Astley out to John. Broadhead, who's come in field a bit to play in a bit narrower, combines with Charlesley. He's up against Ben White, marshalling him well. But Broadhead wins a throw-in. Here's Basala Sambu. Looks for an early shot. One's easy for Keto. Can get Albion going again. Suttner finds Sanders. A couple of the Albion forwards frustrated by the lack of an early ball forward, but Albion keeping the ball and looking to have a spell of possession early in this second half. Towards Keto. He has to be careful. Closed down by Sambu. But headed back to him by Mateus Norman. Albion almost caught out again at the back. Warren O'Hora looks for the early run of Connolly, but it's straight to Tyus Browning. Here's Adeniran. Bowler coming in from the wing. Finding a bit of space. Looking to find a shot with his left. Well blocked by Ben Barkley. Bowler's done that a couple of times now in the game. Cut in from the right and looked at goal with his left foot, but so far he's been frustrated in his efforts. Suttner launches an early ball down the wing for Cox to run onto, and he's clear of the right back John. Early ball into the area for Connolly, but Feeney's there to read the danger and hook it away. Browning heads it away. Bowler, but he's under pressure. Well, a weak foul there. Ooh. Decision by the referee. Looked like a 50-50 challenge for the ball, but in the end he goes for Everton decision. Joe Hilton standing the ball up for Basala Sambu. Goes down under pressure from Suttner. It'll be a throw-in. Slight delay as Carl John just waits for another ball to get the game underway. To the feet of Nathangelo Markello. He has his pocket picked. Yorkerez out to Connolly. Sanders maybe looking to switch the play. Goes for the easy option. And Barkley. Expansive ball out to the left to Cox, and Cox does well to get on the end of it again. But John is there to cover and come away with it. Cox is still with him, but the Everton right back comes away with it. Support from Josh Bowler. He comes forward with it. Strong running by the winger. Good play to get ahead from the Albion players. Norman comes across, wins the ball. Good challenge by the Norwegian. It's Norman to go over the top towards Yorkerez. Finds the feet of the Swede. Here's Yorkerez cutting in field. Oh, great save by the keeper. It was actually Yorkerez with the effort after being set up by Dreyer. And that was a really good move by Albion. And the keeper, equal to it, tipped it over. Rather nonchalant in the way, but it was straight at him. Fierce effort by Gyökeres. And Albion have their first corner of the second half. It'll be Marcus Suttner to go over to the far side to take it. A left-footed in-swinger. Five Albion shirts in the box, both the centre-backs forward. Flicked on by Fleeny. Oh, it just hits the feet of the Albion man and straight into the arms of Hilton, the Everton keeper. Just hit the feet of Ben Barkley, it was.
Get over, go and help him. It's constant, son. You can't switch off.
Decent pace to this second half already. Here's Markello coming away with the ball into Josh Bowler. Sambu steps across, but O'Hora manages to get away with that challenge on him. Norman looking to go over the top quickly, but for once Connolly wasn't wise to it and hadn't set off on his run. Here's Markello. John's in space. Up against Suttner. Clip ball into the area. Keeper comes. Sambu gets on the end of it. And the header just drifts wide. Clash of heads though in the area. And we'll need some attention here.
Come on, corner.
It's Ben Barkley, the Albion skipper, who's down, but doesn't look as serious as first feared, but he's up and kneeling. So hopefully he'll be okay to continue, but a little clash with Basala Sambu there. The Everton players just taking on some liquid, so to a few of the Albion youngsters as well. Well, we're 10 minutes into this second half. And Everton still holding on to that lead that will take them 4 points clear at the top of the Premier League 2 table. Albion have only lost once so far this season. So have Everton. In fact, both clubs have lost to Derby County, who sits second in the table, a point behind the Toffees. Keto launches this one upfield and Barkley manages to get back in the game. Gyökeres muscled out of it by Browning, but Feeney comes forward with it. Charsley looking for Sambu. Manages to win the first header, but under a bit of pressure from Ben White and Matthias Norman, Albion come away with it. Broadhead finds the option, but Dreyer will pounce on the loose ball and looks to get Connolly away. Feeney takes a first touch, Connolly gets in front of him, wins the throw-in. Another robust challenge by the Everton defence. Here's Norman. Sanders. Sutton's in space on the left. Maybe the Austrian can work across. Connolly's looking to get on the end of anything, but that's cut out by Ryan Astley. Albion retain it. Good feed by O'Hora to work the ball to Norman. And onto White on the right. Just in towards his knees, but a strong challenge from the right back to keep the ball. Norman comes forward with it again. Again, Sutton is in some space. Can the former Ingolstadt man deliver well this time towards the back post? Gyökeres is there holding off his man. And it's a foul. Did have some pressure in the back of Morgan Feeney, the Everton skipper. And the Swede is penalised for that push.
Stay there, boss. No deeper, no deeper. Stay.
So Joe Hilton gets us back underway. Silas Sambu up against Warren O'Hora. It's the Irishman who wins it. Cox can't keep the ball in.
Victor. Just stay there. Go. Get it.
It's Kyle John combining with Angelo Marcello. Sutton's claiming a push in the back from Josh Bowler. The official saw nothing wrong there.
Let's go. Max right. Victor, look. Accident. Let's go, Everton, please. Thank you.
Into the feet of Marcello. Oh, robust challenge by Kyle John. And, well, it was a strong challenge and an awkward landing from Yorkerez, and there's a bit of a coming together between the two sides and a bit of shoving. I don't think it was intentional by any way by Yorkerez, but he came down quite hard on the shoulder of Kyle John.
What about the stamp though? Whether it's a bad tackle or not, you can't just stamp on someone. Stamp on someone.
The referee's come across to this side to speak to his assistant, Dermot Bandara, just to get another pair of eyes on what went on that occasion. It was a strong challenge from Kyle John on Yorkerez, and as the Swede came down, he did come into the shoulder of the Everton defender.
How was it him?
Yorkerez is being called over by the referee.
Go away.
Looks like he might escape a caution, but he's definitely having a bit of a talking to the Swede. And he does get a caution in the end. Second yellow of the match. Harry Charles is also on a booking. But now Carl John's being called over by the referee, Christopher O'Donnell, as well. And he will also get a yellow card for his part in that incident. Still holding his shoulder though, so interesting to see whether that troubles him, continues to trouble him. So both the Everton fullbacks booked so far this evening, and Victor Yorkerez also had his name taken by the referee. So we go again. Good header by Assi to win that in front of Yorkerez, and Bowler does well to keep it in, but here's Nathangelo Marcello. But suddenly a bit of spice in the game, a bit more urgency from the Albion as we enter the last half hour of the game. Yorkerez stepping inside. Ahura goes square to Ben Barclay. The Albion skipper again. A bit more impetus about both sides after little contretemps between them all. Cox, chance to mount another attack. Sutton is overlapping. Sanders is calling for it as well. Low ball out, is cut out by Broadhead, but he can't get on to the end of it because Dreher's coming back. Smart work by the Dane to track back and keep possession for his side after that ball was cut out. Yorkerez finds Suttner. Albion have already tested the keeper once in this half. Stood up towards Connolly, and Browning is there to head it behind for another Albion corner. It will be Suttner, known for his set-piece delivery, to come across and take it. Not had much of a look in the first team so far this season, thanks to the form of Gaitan Bong and the signing of Bernardo in the summer. But the Suttner with a point to prove. Towards the near post, headed away, but Suttner will get another chance to deliver, this time with his right foot towards the back post. Looked like there was a bit of holding there, but Feeney sees off any danger, and Everton survive. Albion have found it hard to break down this Everton defence. 3 centre-backs since they went ahead in the 14th minute through that Nathangelo Marcello goal. It's a moment of opportunism by the half Dutch, half Surinese man. He just caught Hugo Keto taking a bit too much time with the ball at his feet to divert the ball in from close range. But Albion looking to come back. That's given away to Sambu, who can try and mount an Everton attack. They work it back to John. Nice first time pass to Josh Bowler, who runs at the Albion defence, but it's Sanders coming back who wins it, but goes back into John. He looks for the run of Sambu. Sliding challenge from Adena and runs it back. This is Ryan Astley. Can come forward with it. Clipped out. Manages to go through the legs of the referee. Broadhead's looking for support. Marcello is with him. Marshalled well by Norman. And the referee does decide to give a foul for that one. So, decent set-piece opportunity here for the Toffees. Nathan Broadhead is over it, about 30 yards out from goal, centrally located. Option to shoot. He's got 4 men to his left and Bowler to his right, but Broadhead will go at goal, deflection off the wall and out towards the flank. Bowler will chase it. John taking his time to get over there and take the throw in. Might be a bit more game management from the Toffees as the evening progresses. They know that they'll go 4 points clear at the top of the Premier League 2 table if they can hold on to this lead and come away with the 3 points. It's the feet of Sambu. He's got 2 for attention, but finds John. John cutting in field. Might think about a shot himself. Blocks. Falls to Broadhead. Blocks again. Manages to bobble away for a corner, and Albion survive this time.
Come on, go up to score. Come on.
Everton having one of their best periods of the game since taking the lead. Will be Broadhead to take the corner. Every man back for the Albion. Sambu and Adeniran in there. It's into the feet of Adeniran, but his flick doesn't come off and it's cleared away. John will pick up the pieces and find Bowler. This is Broadhead. John again with it. Under the challenge of Dreyer comes. Dreyer manages to win the ball and finds Suttner. Albion can work it clear. Again, they're showing patience. Midway through this second half, but a loose ball is chanced upon and loose clearance means it comes clear, but Norman comes away with it. Connolly's calling for it. He worked into the feet of Yorkerez. Cox is coming forward on the left again, up against John. Not had too much change out of the fullbacks so far this evening, but Suttner's coming forward from left back. Norman works it out to Ben White on the right hand side. Dreyer still looking for that opening of the Albion. Into the feet of Connolly, goes down under the challenge and up in the air for Sambu to chase, but Horace there ahead of him. Cleared out. Albion are going to make a change very shortly, and it's going to be Jordan Davis to come on for the Seagulls. And Anders Dreyer is the man who will be replaced. So, can Jordan Davis make any difference for this Albion side in the closing stages? Might mean a slight reshuffle. Clip forward into the feet of Broadhead, but that's out for an Albion throw.
Middle of the pitch, fast. Middle of the pitch. Get in contact with the midfield.
Ben White on the ball. Here's Suttner, combining with Sanders. Suttner again flicks the ball out to Ben Barkley. Gyökeres is in acres of space on the left and calling for it. Barkley drifted out towards him. Gyökeres finds Suttner. Looks to move again. So Gyökeres has come to this left-hand side. Jordan Davis is in the number 10 role behind Connolly, and George Cox is now on the right wing. After that change. Clipped over the top, looking forward. Jordan Davis does manage to get ahead on the ball, but it's Tyus Browning who got there ahead of him. And Albion will have a corner on that far side. Suttner again goes to take it. So we come up to the 70-minute mark here at the American Express Elite Football Performance Centre. Albion still looking for that equaliser to extend their unbeaten run to 5 games in all competitions. Suttner with the corner. Bust header, and it's Everton who come away with it through Sambu, but a great sliding challenge by Ben Barkley wins the ball back. And can the Albion make something of this moment here? Here's Gyökeres looking for a bit of trickery to get past his man, flashes in the cross, but Joe Hilton is there to gather at the second attempt. See Carl John and Ryan Astley pumps this one upfield, but Basala Sambu is held by Matthias Norman, cutting the Everton counter-attack short in its tracks there. Astley, this is the game going again. Here's Adeniran, well marshalled by Jordan Davis, who's frustrating the former Fulham man. Played 5 games for the West Londoners, did Adeniran, before moving to Everton. He's been restricted to youth football and not appeared for the Toffees senior side as yet. Here's Ryan Astley. This is Nathangelo Marcello. Clip forward for Bowler to chase, but Suttner's there, and Suttner's an experienced character. Clears this one away. Good footing from Sanders. Connolly goes down under a strong challenge from Ryan Astley. Felt that one, did the Irishman. But Albion get the game going quickly again. So Connolly will need to shake off that injury to try and get back into position.
Stay there, Vash. That's it. Let him step in with it. Stay there. That's it. Save your legs. That's it.
Suttner looking forward for an option. Sanders is there as ever, looking to get the ball going into the feet of Davis. Fouled this time by Astley, and the referee will go to his pocket. Dangerous play there by Astley, said the referee. So that's 3 of the Everton back 5 booked so far. John, Charsley, now joined in the book by Astley. The Albion need to work some openings. Suttner and Sanders over this free kick. You'd say it favours the left-footed delivery of Suttner. Deep into the box. Over the head of Davis. Will the ball drop for Ben White? In the end, it's Broadhead who works it clear. Albion might be making another substitution in a moment, but the game continues as they look to press home their current advantage. On top at the moment, Josh Bowler coming forward against Suttner, but Suttner gets the better of him. Gyökeres finds Ben White in space. This looks promising for the Albion. Well, it's time to deliver, but he looks back to Norman, clips the ball in, cut out by the first man, Markello. Here's Sanders looking for Cox. It's Feeney there who rises highest this time to get it away, and Adeniran can come away with it. And the foul is given away. So it's going to be a second change for the Albion, and Archie Davis is going to replace Warren O'Hora. So that'll mean a bit of a reshuffle at the back as Archie Davis comes on at right back. Ben White shuffles into the left centre-back role. Bit of a change at the back. So we enter the last 15 minutes here in Lancing. The mist just starts to descend very slightly over the American Express Elite Football Performance Centre. Forward towards Sambu, who wins the header. And that's going to be flicked on to no one in particular. Keto can gather the ball and get Albion going with a throw out to Suttner. Josh Bowler's very smart to come across and shut him down. Back towards Ben White. Here's Norman. Gyökeres is again in space on the left-hand side. Archie Davis instead looks to go over the top towards Connolly, but Tyus Browning is there to head it clear. Sanders picks it up, and his heels clipped slightly by Nathangelo Markello. Sanders keeps it going. Sanders clips it over to Archie White, the substitute, but Harry Charlesy gets there first. Albion get the decision. And White forced to go all the way back to Hugo Keto from that square pass by Barkley. Everton pushing up the field and pressing. Keto goes high, but it's straight down the throat of Markello, but he can't find a teammate with his possession. And Albion keep it going again. Suttner looking for options. Everton dropping back and staying organised. Albion look for the working. Over the top looking for Davis, and Astley gets a foot in there to just hook it away. Adeniran managing to look to keep the ball going under pressure from Connolly. The Everton midfielder comes away with it. Markello can't make it stick, and he's just pulled a muscle there very slightly probably, but he looks like he can continue. Norman comes away with it. Davis is in space on the right. He finds George Cox, gets it back. Maybe chance for the shot. Norman curling, hits the bar. Down Connolly, can he make it flick? Hooks it goalwards, over. Well, great strike by Mathias Norman there. Just outside the area, but saw his effort come back off the woodwork. Are Albion going to be frustrated as they look for an equaliser here? They've only lost once here before at the American Express Elite Football Performance Centre in 14 previous games, but as it stands, Everton are going to inflict a second defeat on the young Seagulls, and Everton are going to move 4 points clear at the top of the Premier League 2 table. Still time though for a late goal. Yeah. Well, referee says play on here as Markello takes down Norman. Original danger snuffed out by Ben White, but Everton have it again. Josh Bowler up against Suttner, standing up the defender, cutting inside as he likes to, but it's good defending by the Austrian. Sliding challenge by Adeniran, and slightly strong challenge again by Davis, but Gyökeres is coming away with it now. He's got Davis who takes over into the area. The ball just runs away from the Welshman. Good covering by Tyus Browning indeed as well. And Everton survive this time. Well, late goals have characterised the Albion in the league so far this season. Scored 5 of them already. Couple in the victory over Manchester City, but Connolly's popped up a couple of times in the 90th minute, and Ben Barkley as well got an equaliser against Blackburn in the dying stages at the Amex last month. So the Albion will be hoping that they can repeat the trick again as we enter the last 10 minutes here. It's Gyökeres. Good step over by him to get him away from John. Smart play by the Swede, but he's just held up ever so slightly by the Everton defence, but Norman comes away with it. Hit the crossbar moments ago. Albion have had their chances. Hugo Keto hasn't been worked too many times, but you could say that Albion have had more sights at goal than Everton so far this evening. Out to Davis on the right hand side. He delivers. That one's too close to Joe Hilton, the Everton keeper. Albion going to make their final substitution in the couple of minutes. Still no changes for the visitors. Still got the same 11 out there who started the game. Save a couple of players, but Barkley mops it up and finds Archie Davis. Cox, good turn from him. Wins the throw-in. Now Cox can come forward with it. Connolly's making a decent run through the middle. Cox goes himself, decent strike, straight into the hands of Hilton. Strong strike by the winger there. Into the arms of the keeper. Hilton clears upfield. Sambu gets on the end of it and finds Bowler, who Broadhead takes a touch, stands up against this man, but the Albion defenders are there covering. Done well to marshal him out to the byline and come away with the ball. Gyökeres shows strength to hold off the defender. Albion come forward. Here's Cox. He's got 2 to aim for in the area at the moment, but checks back. Davis flicks it on. Here's Gyökeres. Steps inside. Oh, pulls it back to Davis, and he just got underneath that one. Lifted it well over the bar. But another good opening for the Seagulls. So final change for the Albion is going to see George Cox replaced by James Tilley. He's had a decent shift so far this evening, and James Tilley, as he continues his comeback from injury, makes his way over to the right hand side. Still Nathangelo Markello's goal in the 14th minute separates these two sides here in Lancing in this Premier League 2 clash. Albion have had the better of the second half though, as they search for an equaliser. Goes long over the top to Connolly, gets on the end of it, but Gyökeres can't pick up the pieces. And Everton come forward with it through Josh Bowler. He finds Dennis Adeniran. Broadhead's calling for it. Chance for him to come forward and slip in Sambu, but Ben White is there. Adeniran picks it up again. Helped on by Broadhead to Markello, the goal scorer. Everton just taking a bit of the sting out of the game at the moment after having to weather a spell of Albion pressure. Looking forward for Bowler, but Ben White is there and across to cover. Need another ball as one went out of play, and now we've got a couple on the pitch. But Kyle John takes his time over the throw-in.
Don't get too close to him, Bass.
John finds Basala Sambu against Sanders. Sambu taking it down towards the corner, and well, Sutner goes in. The decision is a corner in the end for the Toffees. And Everton taking their time over everything at the moment. Game management by the visitors. Short corner taken to Bowler. Albion didn't pick it up. Bowler goes at goal. Oh, that's a brilliant strike by the winger. Doubles Everton's lead. And surely with that the game. It's Brighton 0, Everton 2. Well, that was a fine strike by the Everton winger from a quickly taken corner. But Albion defence switched off there momentarily, didn't pick up Bowler. And after taking a touch, he struck a firm left-footed shot past Hugo Keto in a flash. And Albion now find themselves 2 goals down with 5 minutes remaining. You can tell by the celebrations there as everyone came over, celebrated together. The Everton players think that one killed off the Albion. About 4 minutes to go, and Basala Sambu is really taking his time to get back into the Everton half before the game gets back underway. Can Albion find a response? It looks like they're going to fall to their second league defeat of the season. Sanders is behind Ben Barkley, and that gives the chance for the Everton players to push out. Ben White combines with Sanders. Barkley comes forward. White clips it over the top. Jordan Davis will chase it. It's well marshalled by Tyus Browning. Sutner gets the game going again quickly. It's Max Sanders being well marshalled by Josh Bowler. It's Matthias Norman. Ben Barkley. Norman gets it back. Clips it into the area early on, looking for Gyökeres. Gyökeres just about keeps it in, does he? Yes. Chance for Sutner to cross. Keeper gets there ahead of Connolly and wins the foul. Well, Connolly had every right to go for that one. It's good defending, and Everton just walking the ball up the pitch and taking their time. Well, somehow the ball finds its way about 30 yards from where the offence occurred. So just a couple of minutes left here. There might be a couple of minutes added on, but as it stands, Everton moving 4 points clear at the top of the Premier League 2 table, and Albion set to suffer their second league defeat of the season. Browning heads this one clear, and Charlesy helps it on its way. Here's Sanders. Suttner coming forward. Gyökeres up against Kyle John. Good back heel from Gyökeres, and Suttner's onto the end of it. But the cross is blocked, and the ball rebounds onto Suttner, and it'll be a goal kick for the Toffees.
Around you. Sit, Nathan.
Hilton launches this one out, and it's going to be over the head of Archie Davis. And out for a throw-in, which Davis will take.
Stand in the middle of the pitch, that's it.
Out to Suttner. Connolly again making a run forward. Suttner continues carrying the ball forward. This time he does look for Connolly. Connolly wins the header to Jordan Davis. Davis with a chance to strike just past the post. And the keeper did get a touch on that one, I think. It might have just been fingertips. It looked like it was going wide anyway. But he does make the save. Albion get the set piece.
Come on, Joe!
Corner taken into the middle. Oh, right into the chest and into the net in the end from the Albion. And they pull one back right at the death. It's that man Connolly again. You can't stop him scoring. And well, right at the end of the game, Albion have one back. It's Brighton 1, Everton 2. The initial effort was saved by the keeper, but it rebounded straight to Connolly. He put the loose ball into the net. Sharp instincts by the Irishman. His 12th of the season. But will it come too late? We've pretty much played the 45. The 90 minutes is up. There might be a minute or two left to go. And Albion keep it alive for a moment. Another late goal. Another goal for Connolly. Here's Suttner into the feet of Max Sanders. Sanders thought that he'd have the throw in there, but he doesn't get the decision. And shows a bit of dissent, and will go into the book for his troubles there for throwing the ball down. Just gives Everton another few seconds to see the game out after that late goal back. Good header by White, but it's pumped clear. And well, Keddo's coming out to clear this one. James Tilley will be chasing it. Strong challenge in midfield, but Charlesy comes forward with it. Probably not too much long left now, probably only another 30 seconds or so. Albion need to work it quick if they want to find the equaliser. Suttner slips but recovers. Sanders, Connolly forward again. Headed away this time by Astley. Clip forward, and this is Bowler looking to work his way down the wing and towards the corner flag. Desperate challenge, and in the end Bowler goes down. Play continues, does it? It's stuck in amongst his feet. Looks like he got a knock there. Davis, Astley comes away with it. Bowler's still on the ground and calling for treatment. Still play continues. Sam Boo goes back to Feeney. Surely there can't be long left now. Everton have it. Surely the game's up. Bowler's back on his feet, but is rather hobbling. Charlesy comes forward with it. Just in the end, just pumps it out for a goal kick. Bowler will get some treatment. Well, Bowler's down. I think he's going to be substituted right here at the death. It's going to be Shane Lavery, Northern Irish international, who's going to come on and replace him. And right at the death, Everton make their first substitution. Keto goes long, but Adeniran is the man to get on the end of it. Here's Broadhead. Chance to run at the defence. Here's Lavery, first touch. Good sliding challenge by Ben White. Pops it behind for a corner. Still we play on. In the 4th minute of added time here. And Everton will look to close out this game as they keep it in the corner. Sala Sambu is there. Strong challenge going in, trying to win the ball back for the Albion, which they do. Another free kick for the Albion. It'll be now or never for the Seagulls. Ball was moving. Frustrated again. Albion have got to put it forward sooner rather than later. Not much time for playing it around at the back. Out to the left towards Gyökeres. That one goes past him. And surely that will be that for the Albion. Kyle John to take the throw in. Large throw down the field. Here's Matthias Norman trying to keep hold of it. Under pressure from Sambu. One more chance for the Albion. Still we play to a 6th minute of added time. Basala Sambu gets a yellow card for time wasting. Sutton's going to hook this one forward. Everyone up for the Albion. Go to heads. Who's going to win the second ball? Where's it going to come down? Pumped away clear, and that is that. And Everton close out the game. Albion fall to their 2nd defeat of the Premier League 2 season. Finishes here at the Amex Elite Football Performance Centre. Brighton 1, Everton 2. Well, it was a very hard-fought match. In the end, settled by the 2 goals for Everton. Nathangelo Marcello in the 14th minute put the Toffees ahead after capitalising on an error at the back by Hugo Keto. And then with about 5 minutes to go, Josh Bowler made it 2-0 with a fine left-footed strike from inside the area following a short corner. There was hope for the Albion right at the death as Aaron Connolly got one back, but it wasn't to be for the Albion, who couldn't find an equaliser. They suffer their first defeat in 5 games. They remain 3rd in the table, in the Premier League 2 table, ahead of the weekend's fixtures. But Everton now are 6 points ahead of the Seagulls and 4 points clear at the top of the table. That wraps it up for our coverage here on Brighton Hove Albion's official YouTube channel. Of course, the first team are in action at Everton tomorrow. The under-23s next game against Swansea in a couple of weeks' time. Thanks for joining us tonight, and until next time, good evening.